former seminarian in the Archdiocese of New York named Anthony Gorgia filed a civil lawsuit against Cardinal Dolan and the Pontifical North American College officials. And the Pontifical North American College, otherwise known as the NAC, is located in Rome. This is where a lot of the bishops will send their top seminarians to study for seminary. Now, Gorgia is asking for a total of $125 million in special economic damages that he claims that he's suffered, as well as damages for mental anguish and humiliation. So the contents of the lawsuit go like this. Gorgia attended the NAC whenever he was a seminarian in New York. He alleged that there was homosexual predatory behavior by Father Adam Park, the vice rector of the NAC. Gorgia returned to the United States for surgery in 2018. When he was in the United States, he continued to take his classes online, and he did pretty well. He intended to return to the NAC in late 2018, but then the rector of the NAC, Father Peter Harmon, requested that Gorgia not return to the seminary. And the lawsuit alleges that Father Harmon is reported to have engaged in homosexual acts with other priests and at least one bishop who is a member of the NAC Board of Governors. Now, Gorgia requested a meeting with Dolan 5 separate times, and Dolan did not respond to the requests any of the times. This is very interesting considering that the Archdiocese ordained 2 total priests in 2020. Now, there have been reports that there is rampant homosexuality in the seminaries in Rome, so this really shouldn't shock a lot of people. However, I think that the inclusion of the bishop in this homosexual activity and the allegations that the rector and the vice rector engaged in homosexual predatory behavior and also homosexual activity raises a lot of concerns. I don't really know what the intention of this lawsuit actually is, because the $125 million lawsuit, it's not going to happen. This guy's not going to get $125 million. But what I think possibly could be the case is that because they set the amount so high, the Archdiocese of New York will have trouble settling out of court, which if this lawsuit ever does go to court, then names are going to be named, a lot of people's characters are going to be permanently damaged, and there's going to be witnesses that come to the stand and testify against some of these priests that are working for the Archdiocese of New York and in the Pontifical North American College. So on the screen, I will show you a list of bishops who are on the Pontifical North American College Board of Governors. It is alleged that at least one of these bishops engaged in homosexual activity, potentially more. Many of them apparently are aware of what is going on. And there's also a video in the description. I will link that. This 12-minute video goes more in depth with the lawsuit. I also linked some articles below. Church Militant has been covering this story since mid-2020. I don't know if anything's going to come from this lawsuit, but it certainly hurts the reputation of the Archdiocese of New York. I don't want to say this is a groundbreaking lawsuit yet, but what it does is it gives further evidence that Cardinal Dolan has no control over his archdiocese. You would think that if he had any control over his archdiocese, at the very least, he would get rid of Father James Martin. He would get rid of some of the rainbow churches that promote pride, Buddhist meditation, and basically any kind of heretical stuff that is condemned by the Catholic Church. And he would also try to root out some of this homosexual predatory behavior in his diocese, or at least try to get his seminarians out of harm's way. So I just wanted to pass along this information, and hopefully we will continue to hear updates of the case.